You think you know what love looks like. When your cat blinks slowly at you, when they roll over and expose their belly, when they bring you that gift on the doorstep, you see affection. Clear as day. But here's what nobody tells you. Cats don't speak our language of love. They never have. And some of the gestures we believe are bringing us closer. They're actually creating distance we can't see. By the end of this, you'll understand your cat in a way that changes everything. Let's begin. Your cat sprawls on the floor, belly gleaming in the light. Vulnerable. Exposed. An invitation. Surely. You reach down. You stroke that soft fur, and suddenly teeth. Claws. The betrayal in their eyes. Most owners freeze here. My cat is so unpredictable, they say. 1 minute loving, the next, violent. But you weren't invited to touch. You were invited to look. In feline social structure, belly exposure is trust display, not touch consent. Dr. Miquel Delgado, a certified applied animal behaviorist at UC Davis, explains that cats show their stomach to communicate security in your presence, not to request contact. The belly contains vital organs. Exposing it says, I don't need to protect myself from you. When you touch it, you violate that trust. The attack isn't aggression. It's boundary enforcement. Admire the display. Take the compliment. Keep your hands to yourself. Number 2. The comforting cuddle. You had a hard day. You scoop up your cat, bury your face in their fur, hold them close. They stiffen. Maybe they struggle. You'll hold tighter. It's okay, you whisper. I'm here. To you, this is sanctuary. To them, this is capture. Cats are control specialists. Their survival depends on escape readiness. When you restrain them, even lovingly, you trigger their deepest anxiety. Research from the University of Lincoln found that cats handled against their will showed elevated cortisol levels lasting hours after release. The struggle you feel isn't rejection of you. It's panic at lost autonomy. Watch for flattened ears, dilated pupils, tail thrashing, or the freeze response when they go completely still. That's not peace. That's shut down. Let them choose proximity. Sit nearby. Let them climb to you. The love they offer freely is worth infinitely more than what you can take. You lock eyes with your cat. You smile. You want them to feel seen. Take Luke Hawaii. Or they stare back, unblinking, and you feel something cold in that gaze. Here's the truth. Sustained eye contact is a threat in cat language. In the wild, direct staring precedes attack. It's how cats size up opponents, establish dominance, warn of violence coming. When you gaze lovingly into your cat's eyes, you're speaking a dialect of danger. The slow blink, the cat kiss, exists precisely to break that tension. It's the opposite of staring. It says, I close my eyes to you. I am vulnerable. You are safe. The fix: don't stare to show love. Blink slowly. Look away first. Let them feel like the predator choosing peace, not the prey being sized up. Your cat finishes eating. You grab a damp cloth, gently wipe their face. They tolerated it as a kitten, after all. They pull away. They lick frantically where you touched. Maybe they hide. You're not cleaning them. You're erasing them. Cats deposit facial pheromones, constantly on corners, on your hand, on their own fur after eating. These chemical signatures mark territory, create familiarity, establish home. When you wipe their face, you're scrubbing away their identity markers. Veterinary behaviorists note that excessive face licking after human contact often indicates stress, grooming the attempt to restore what was removed. Trust their self. They're not dirty. They're scented. That scent is their security system. You come home. Your cat greets you. You immediately drop to their level, voice rising. Who's my good baby? Who's my good baby? They flatten, retreat, or simply stare at you with what looks like disdain. High-pitched, loud human voices activate a cat's threat detection. Their hearing range extends to 64 kHz ultrasonic territory we can't perceive. What sounds like loving enthusiasm to us is potentially painful, certainly alarming noise pollution to them. Studies from the University of Sussex found that cats respond more reliably to higher-pitched voices only when they're calm and quiet whisper level, essentially. Enthusiastic volume overwhelms their sensitive auditory system priced softly. Let your presence be the celebration, not your volume. If this is already changing how you understand your cat, if you're suddenly seeing past interactions differently, consider subscribing. We break down animal behavior that most owners completely miss. Not to make you feel wrong, but to bring you closer to what's actually true. And we haven't reached the most misunderstood gesture yet. The one that looks like rejection but means something else entirely. Stay with me. Morning. Your doorstep holds something dead or dying or simply stolen from the trash. You recoil. You scold. You dispose of it quickly. Maybe gag a little. Your cat watches. Then turns away and doesn't bring you anything for weeks. That gift wasn't an offering. It was a teaching moment. Mother cats bring prey to kittens who haven't learned to hunt, believing you food. Your cat was identifying you as family specifically, as incompetent family who needs education. When you rejected the lesson, you rejected the role they assigned you. Dr. John Bradshaw, author of Cat Sense, notes that cats who stop gifting after negative reactions often show reduced social behaviors, generally a withdrawal of the teaching instinct that parallels bonding. Set it aside for later. Accept the gesture. Dispose of it later, privately. Thank them for thinking of your education. The lesson matters more than the content. Your cat approaches the door. You block them. They jump on the counter. You remove them. They explore a closet. You call them back. Every boundary you enforce for love, safety, longevity. The cats experience restricted territory as existential threat. Their world shrinks. Their control evaporates. The result is ingratitude. It's anxiety manifesting in precisely the behaviors you're trying to prevent. Inappropriate elimination, aggression, withdrawal. Environmental enrichment research consistently shows that cats with vertical space, hiding options, and chosen exploration paths show fewer problem behaviors than cats with simple physical restriction. Build yes spaces, not just no. If they can't have the counter, give them a higher perch with a better view. Redirect, don't just block. Here it is. The one that breaks most owners' hearts. You reach for your cat. They walk away. You follow, calling their name. They hide under the bed. You feel the rejection like a physical thing after everything you've given them. They can't even tolerate your touch, but you're misreading the script entirely. Cats don't hide from love. They hide from pressure. Every time you followed, pursued, insisted on contact when they signaled disinterest, you've taught them that proximity leads to capture, that your love is a trap they must escape. The hiding isn't rejection of you, it's the only boundary enforcement they have left, developed through months of learning that no doesn't work. The cat who walks away isn't saying, I don't love you. They're saying, I need to feel safe enough to choose you. And here's the revelation that changes everything. The greatest gift you can give a cat isn't affection. It's autonomy, the space to approach, the freedom to leave, the security that your love won't become restraint. When you stop chasing, something remarkable happens. They start seeking. They rub against your legs, not because you're holding food, but because your presence has become theirs to claim. They sleep beside you not because you're warm, but because they selected that warmth. So, tonight, when your cat blinks slowly from across the room, understand what they're offering. Not an invitation to close the distance. Not a request for touch. A declaration that in their world where threat and safety are measured in millimeters of choice, you have been judged harmless, worthy of vulnerability, permitted to exist in their space without demand. That quiet moment, that unbroken gaze, that slow, deliberate closure of eyes. That's not distance. That's trust. Finally, speak in a language you can understand. And when they choose to cross that space themselves, when they press their forehead to your hand, not because you reached, but because they arrived, you will know something most owners never learn. They weren't rejecting your love. They were waiting for it to become safe enough to receive.